the truth.
LeBron, can you take us through that last sequence defensively with Bogdanovich taken out, ultimately ending with AD making a great block and not fouling?
Well, the one thing we want to do is force them inside the three-point line. A two doesn't hurt us. If they make a two, we can call a timeout, see if we can win the game. If not, go into overtime. So we played it to perfection, making them go inside the line. And then when you have a shot blocker with the caliber of AD protecting the rim, just made it a lot tougher on Harrison.
You had a quote today in the shoot-around about next man up mentality, especially with Avery being out. You see Caruso in that third quarter come out and start, play great, has 7 points. But when you see a guy like KCP, who struggled at home, come through in that fourth quarter with 12 of his 16 points, doing it on both ends of the floor, how happy are you for him?
Big time. You know, I said it in the post game. I said he got the game ball tonight, and he just took advantage of the opportunity. You know, his role is very huge and key for our team, no matter if Avery's in the lineup or not. And, yeah, he's been struggling a little bit with his shot, but more importantly, you know, just keeping his mind ready, keeping his mind fresh, and he did that tonight. And every shot that he had in the fourth quarter that he made was so timely. You know, Sac kept making shots, they kept making shots, and, you know, KCP kept answering, and he was key for us.
You had great energy as you have the entire season, especially in the fourth quarter. I know it wasn't by your choice, but having 5.5 months off for the first time since 20, you think that's helped you here this first month? I know it's early, but
I just think the way I just trained, you know, getting my growing back to 100%. You know, and like I said, you know, it's the first time I ever, you know, tore something, you know, and dealing with that injury last year after, you know, coming back, you know, was still partially torn, and just could never get back to myself, you know, as we tried to make a push at the playoffs. So, you know, having that long stretch off, you know, it allowed me to, you know, get my growing back to 100%, and then just train a lot. You know, even when I was shooting a movie, I trained every single morning. You know, getting my legs back, getting my quick twitch back, getting my quickness back, and my explosiveness, and you know, putting myself in a position where I knew that you know, if I needed to play, you know, a lot of minutes, which we don't want, you know, for any of us. None of us want to play a lot of minutes, but there are going to be games where, you know, I've trained enough and I've prepared myself to be able to do that.
LeBron, after the last game, Dwight previously had jumped into the comments on Instagram to defend KCP for some criticism, and then tonight Frank said that he knows KCP gets a lot of criticism for his offense, but he's had great consistent defense and effort throughout the year. Curious, what have you guys done in here to kind of keep him up, and what have you made from kind of what he's been able to give you?
Me personally, I don't really. I can give a damn about what people say outside the locker room and outside our practice facility, outside our plane and team buses, because it really don't matter. It's just outside noise, and if, you know, I've heard it my whole career, so I really don't pay attention to it. You know, and I don't think anybody should pay attention to it, but I think it's dope that Dwight stuck up for him. But we all just told him, you know, listen, we don't care if you make shots, but we want you to take them with confidence. You're going to get great looks. You know, myself and AD is going to track a lot of, you know, double teams. Rajon does a great job of getting guys involved as well. We want to just shoot it with confidence, and that's what he did in the fourth quarter. But don't let the game, you know, be dictated because if you make or miss shots. You know, there's other ways you can affect the game, and he did it on both ends tonight.
Is that a thing you can do kind of culture-wise? I mean, you did that with Caruso in the first half tonight, it seemed like.
What?
He missed like 3 or 4 shots.
Oh, yeah.
Just kept funneling to him.
Yeah, yes. It doesn't – I mean, I told I really don't like telling you guys what I tell. Listen, you work. When you work on your game and you work, you put yourself in a position to be successful. If you're not working on a certain thing and then you go out and do it on the game, on the floor, then we're not going to be okay with that as a ball club. But AC, KCP, everybody, these guys work on their game every single day, and they, you know, so go out there and do the same thing. So, and I don't care if you miss 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 shots in a row. If guys leaving you open, keep on taking them. That's how much confidence that we have in our group.
LeBron, as the most dominant player in the NBA, is this season different for you? Because all of the fans around the world expect you to put on a show, but you're making your teammates in the show. Is that all about?
For me, I just approach the game one way, and that's you know, trying to make winning plays, being there for my teammates on both ends of the floor, and just being blessed with the opportunity to play the game that I love. And I think everything else takes care of itself.
You're tough on yourself. How do you feel when you walk away from a game going perfect from live, including hitting a couple ones that really mattered?
It's something that I worked on extremely hard this offseason. get my free throws better, and I kind of struggled for the last couple of games, especially in Phoenix. To be in a position where I can make some clutch free throws, for our ball club, and then AD coming with the clutch block at the end, it's pretty cool.
Last question, please.
This game in Dallas, I think between this game and Dallas, you and AD have taken on two of the most dangerous scorers on the team and then been able to switch off of those guys. What gives you confidence working in that sort of two-man switching with AD?
Defensively?
Yeah.
Oh, AD can guard the perimeter and in the paint. He's a hybrid. His athletic ability to be able to stay in front of guards on the perimeter, his ability to guard bigs in the post, or if they're posting, he can do it all. And I believe I take that challenge as well, being able to guard quicker guards on the perimeter, and then if bigger guys want to get into the post, being able to hold my ground and be able to make them take tough shots. So having that luxury is key for our team.
LeBron, you guys mentioned how surprised you were in terms of the chemistry, how fast it has developed, especially with AD. How much has Frank and the coaching staff played into that chemistry?
Oh, of course, yeah, absolutely. They've played a huge part of that, and they've just held us accountable from day one. They want us to, share the ball and be great offensively as a team, and then defensively take the challenge first of all individually on your individual matchup, and then protect your brother. There's great NBA players, and you're going to get beat just like the last play of the game, and then we have one of our brothers protecting the rim. So that's going to happen. But like you said, the coaching staff has been great, and we just try to hold our side up on our end of the bargain up, and just try to be great as well.
Anthony, if you could walk us through that last possession from what you might have been expecting in the timeout to when you end up getting us rotating over to Harrison Barnes.
We watched our end of game plays. Try to come off for a three. So we knew they probably, whoever it was, Harrison or Bogdanovich or Buddy, was probably gonna get the shot. We called, for the fake handoff and a keep, and that's what Harrison did, and just trying to make a play, rotate it over, just try to make a play.
You made a few other defensive plays in that fourth quarter. Shot wasn't falling as much tonight. I think it was 5 for 12. Is that increase your mindset on the defensive end, or you approach it the same way?
It definitely increases my mindset. When the shot's not falling, I try to do the other things to help the team win, and the team was trying to get me going. I just missed some shots, and I try to take it out on the defensive end, make plays for my team, and make sure the other team didn't score. Kind of just make up for it.
How about the lob play you had with LeBron late? I think it made it 95-90. LeBron got the steal, and how quickly did you see that play developing? Obviously, it came in transition.
I was just trying to run the floor, do the little things to get myself going. He was pushing the ball, and I'm still trying to figure out where should I go? Should I space out and get him the lane, or run to the rim? And that's why I'm kind of slowing down. I was just running, and he made a play.
You and LeBron, were guarding the switch and I think late in the Mavericks game, and did that again tonight with the Kings. What gives you confidence about sort of that pairing and working with LeBron on defense in some of those possessions?
He's a guy that can guard 1 through 5. I feel like I can guard 1 through 5, and so especially late game when their best perimeter player, they're gonna have a big come up and probably try to set a screen, and it's just an easy switch trying to keep the ball in front of us instead of being in coverage, and now they getting stuff on the weak side or hitting the big, rolling to the basket. So, with me and him in the pick and roll, or the two that guard the offensive players, we kind of just stay in coverage and switch it out and make them take a shot they probably don't want to take.
Going back to the block, is there a key to not fouling in that situation, and how much more cognizant are you of not committing a foul there in a critical situation as opposed to just a different play in the game?
Just try to go straight up, go vertical, make him finish through contact, and once I saw that the ball was low, I have pretty good instincts of blocking the shot. So I just wanted to make sure that I went vertical first and made it tough on him, and if he made the shot, he made it. But I was the most important thing. I wasn't trying to give a foul.
What was your advantage on LeBron's dunk on Bielitsa, and what was your reaction?
Something he's been doing his whole career. Saw a lane and put it on his head. So what LeBron does.
Frank was talking about the next man up mentality with Avery out and KCP stepping up, especially in the fourth quarter. What did you see, and if you see somebody getting hot like that, what do you try to focus on?
Try to find him. He's been, up and down. Kind of confidence kind of been low, and for him to come out and play the way he played is definitely a confidence booster. Anytime he's in action with me, I try to give him the ball, and we tell him to keep shooting, just keep playing, and he did that tonight. Made some big shots, especially in the fourth. Made some big plays, big rebounds, and and he helped us get this win tonight.
Hey, Kentavious, that fourth quarter you got going, what did you see? Was there anything that helped start that flow on offense?
I just took my open shots in a good rhythm, not forcing anything, and just took my shots when I was open.
Frank said the key has been your defense has been consistent all season, so therefore if the shots making or not going in has not been as big of an issue for him, is that been part of the mindset?
Yeah, I try to lean on my defense as much as possible. I know that's what I'm great at it. Get a couple steals, no layups, maybe to the free throw line. So that means to get my offense going. But I try to lean on my defense as much as possible.
What did you see on that final play when AD rotated over for the block?
It was a great rotation. It's pretty good at going vertical, and what he did there, going vertical and not even just fouling, was a big play. We needed that.
How about just LeBron's overall effort in 39 minutes and the points and the assists and kind of just doing everything? What's it been like playing with him?
He's a machine. Even at his age that he's at. He take care of his body. He's ready to go every night.
Last time we were here, Dwight was saying, he was issuing some words of support for you and saying, "I need you to win the championship." Did you see that, and how has that sunk in?
No, I haven't seen it. But he mentioned it to me. But it's one thing I can't worry about. One thing I was just trying to get my confidence back and just come out here and play, have fun with my teammates.
In a similar vein, Frank said to even acknowledge tonight that he knows that you get a lot of criticism for your offense from fans. Does that weigh on you at all? Does it make it harder for you to lock in and be the player?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, because at the end of the day, it's gonna be the fans that cheering me on. So if I have a good game, they're gonna be the same fans that's cheering me. So it's like, don't worry about that. Don't get into that. Just play my game.
Frank also credited your quick cuts. How much do you feel like you can impact the speed that you guys play?
A lot. I try to get out in transition and to get like an easy layup, just make the defense move and not just try to stay in one spot. And that opens up a lot for us, even if I don't get the layup or I don't get the shot.
Is there something you found that helps you in terms of maintaining confidence when those shots aren't falling, or keep yourself in that zone?
Praying a lot.
In game?
Whenever I can. Even if I could, just trying to stay within myself, do what I can do, play defense and shoot the ball.
Is it something as simple as there was a technical free throw you shot early in the game just to...
Yeah, I wanted to shoot that to get see the ball go through the net, and then after that, I was feeling good and in a good rhythm.
When did you find out you were getting the job with Avery out?
Shoot around today.
Okay. Yeah. And how did you take the halftime adjustment?
It just, like we say, it's the next man up. No matter how we do it, it's just next man up.
What did you learn from that start against Chicago that you had for Avery, and what do you think was different a little bit about the defensive energy tonight?
I was just playing hard, staying within the defensive scheme we had and just playing hard, giving a great effort.
Frank, what did you make of that just total effort from LeBron in 39 minutes? I know he played less last game because of that fourth quarter, but just kind of carrying through the team on what seemed to be an off night.
Yeah, he was huge in the fourth quarter. Obviously carried us through a tough stretch, helped us build the lead up in that fourth, and credit the Kings for playing a terrific basketball game all four quarters, but in particular for not folding during that stretch, and they fought back and clawed back into the game. But, LeBron was great building that lead and then obviously closing out with the 2 big free throws at the end.
Frank, what AD had to do and recognize on that play to be able to make the block on the Kings' last possession?
Well, it was really just our basic coverage. He's the low man. We got split on the handoff switch, and Barnes came to the basket, and that's AD's as good as anybody in the world, at making that play, and he made a terrific play to save the game.
In general, what do you think it says about AD that, not the best offensive night he's had, but still playing a lot of late defense, especially against Barnes on some of those switches?
Well, that's what's special about him. He can just impact the game even when he's not going offensively or they're double teaming him. It wasn't really that he was having an off night. They were double teaming every time he touched it. And, for him to impact the game the way he did on the other end of the floor, it just shows what kind of special player he is.
Frank, you started KCP, but then went to Caruso early and then again at the start of the second half. Wondering if you could explain what was kind of behind that. And then it seemed like you got great contributions from both of them at different points of the game. Just curious, in your first game without Avery, what you thought of those guys.
They were going to try to junk the game up a little bit, putting a lot of cross matches out there. They're doing the Pat Bev plan of just having Corey pick up LeBron full court, deny him full court, and then you could either, wear him out the whole game doing that, or you just put another ball handler in. So that's why we went to Alex. But, KCP exemplified our next man up mindset today with Avery going down. And, he stepped in and played terrific defense all night. And then obviously down the stretch, he had great energy, with his speed cuts, feeding the ball in the post, and then made some big shots when we really needed him. So credit KCP for really stepping up tonight.
Frank, you'd mentioned, crediting Sacramento for not kind of folding when you guys would make those pushes. It happened 3 or 4 times. You guys are up by 8 or whatever it was. Was that more of a them thing pushing, or are you guys getting a little complacent with the lead?
No, I credit them. Look, they're playing extremely well, and they space you out. They're shooting the 3 ball extremely well, especially Buddy and Bogdanovich. And look, they made 16 threes and they shot 39. I feel like we defended a lot of them really well, but they're knocking them down anyway. And when you have that kind of threat at the 3-point line, it really extends your defense, makes it difficult to protect the paint. So credit them for playing a terrific game.
It kind of seems like at the end, LeBron and AD were almost switching on to Bogdanovich because he really had it going at the end there. Was that by design, or was that them?
Well, it's just to try to stay out of rotations and just guard those guys out of switching. That's kind of what our base defense was. Their guy came into it, so rather than get into rotations, we just switched out and tried to guard one-on-one.
You mentioned earlier, Frank, KCP had a really big fourth quarter. His season's been up and down a lot. What is it that you like about him that gives you the confidence for the fourth quarter moments like that?
Well, I would say his season has not really been up and down. I think his scoring has been up and down, but he's one of the guys on our team that brings the highest level of energy. One of his talents is how hard he plays, and when you have a guy that plays as hard as he does, it impacts the energy on the floor. It's part of our identity of making the whole group be a play harder type of team. And he's an excellent defender. And we're the number 1 defense in the league, and he's a big part of that. So, I don't feel like he's really had an up and down type of season. I think he's been really consistent with his energy and with his defense. And the shots come and gone a little bit, but it was there for us tonight.
So is that is that an element that you consider just reliable in of itself? That's going to be there.
Yes, you gotta have an look. The firepower in this league with the style of play that this league plays with nowadays, you need as many perimeter defenders that you can trust and can get out and guard and have speed and containment ability as you can. And he's one of those soldiers for us. And I know he gets a lot of criticism for his offense, but he's capable of knocking down big shots like we saw tonight, and he brings consistent energy on the defensive end.
Hey, Frank, closing games, you've had some success going big with Dwight in there. Kuzma has been coming on. How do you approach that? It's not as simple as offense, defense, but what's your mindset with trying to figure out that situation?
Just a feel for the game. We have a rotation that sets us up for the final 3 or 4 minutes to just make a read on, what the matchups look like, which guys really had a better night. what the game calls for. If we feel like we need weak side shooting because we're going to be double teamed, we probably go with Kuz. If they're getting to the basket on us and we need, some rim protection, we'll probably go with Dwight. It's really what the game calls for.